Hi, my name is Matigela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today on this video, we are going to be talking about Brigadier Gininda, how he became the man on the spotlight when it comes to the Senzo Meyiwa case. Okay, so there were investigative decisions and courtroom scrutiny that happened a lot. In fact, it's still happening even right now. In the name of Brigadier Bongani Gininda. Brigadier Bongani Gininda has been one of the central figures in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial as the lead investigator who took over the case years after the initial investigations. And his decisions, methods, and testimony have been intensely scrutinized by people of South Africa. They have been in fact, it's not just it's his investigation that is being scrutinized. And his testimony have been intensely scrutinized by both the defense team and the court also, and South Africans. His evidence has become one of the most debated aspects of the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. Firstly, taking over the investigation, let's look into that. Brigadier Gininda inherited the case several years after Senzo Meyiwa's death. His task was to review previous investigations, identify new evidence, and build a prosecutable case. However, this immediately raised questions about why earlier investigators reached different conclusions, whether important evidence had been overlooked, and why suspects identified in earlier investigations were no longer the focus. Secondly, there was the confession evidence situation. One of the prosecution's strongest pillars was the so-called alleged confessions and pointing out statements. During the trial, the defense alleged these confessions were obtained through assault and torture. Accused persons denied making voluntary admissions. A lengthy trial within a trial was held. Proceedings were held to determine the admissibility. This shifted attention from the accused to the conduct of the investigators, which is the cold case unity led by Brigadier Bongani Gininda. Now, one of the other issues that came into the spotlight was the cell phone analysis that was done in this case. Brigadier Gininda relied heavily on cell phone evidence. The defense questioned the interpretation of all call records, the location analysis, timing of communications, whether the evidence actually linked the accused to crime scene. Expert, which was, what's her name? Pinky Venteligam, was cross-examined extensively on these issues. There were also where there was a need of a forensic expert when it comes to the cell phone evidence, but Dololo nowhere to be seen. Another issue was how Gininda dealt with the witness management. Throughout the trial, questions were raised regarding witnesses who initially appeared willing to assist investigators, later contradicted aspects of the state case, or were ultimately not called by the prosecutions. The defense argued this weakened the state's narrative, while the prosecution maintained it relied on the evidence it believed was relevant and admissible. And all of these things are still being argued, and they bring so much scrutiny in the case. Every time they put someone there who tells us, actually, I spoke to Gininda and Baloyi and ABCD happened, we get shocked because those are aspects that they never mentioned inside the courtroom. Another issue was the contradictions during cross-examination. Cross-examinations focused on investigative decisions, documentations, timelines, statement-taking procedures, chain of evidence, communication between investigators. Yay, it's a lot. The defense sought to expose inconsistencies, while the prosecution maintained the investigation was thoroughly done. Despite these issues that are embroidered in the investigation of Brigadier Gininda. And despite the time that has passed, prosecution stands and says everything is legit that was done. The other issue, the two investigation debating a recurring issue has been whether the later investigation significantly departed from earlier investigative findings. Questions have been raised about differing theories of the crime changing in suspects and how investigative priorities evolved over time. These issues have featured prominently during cross-examination. Several legal principles are central to this stage of the trial. Admissibility of evidence. The court must determine whether evidence, including alleged confessions and related investigative material, was lawfully obtained and can be relied upon. When it comes to that, it made me remember that the same Gininda, the same Brigadier Gininda is the same one that was questioned when it comes to the Donovan Craig case. As a result, the same Gininda is the one whose so-called confession was thrown out. The confession was taken by him and it was thrown out of that case. So what are the odds of this one having the same issues that needs scrutiny? It needs to be scrutinized, anything that has him at this point. And now, an imperfection an imperfect investigation does not automatically mean the accused are innocent, but serious deficiencies can influence how much weight the court gives to the prosecution's case. So time will tell. Burden of proof, of course, we all know that the prosecution bears the burden of proving guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. The defense is not required to prove innocence. Rather, it seeks to demonstrate that reasonable doubt exists. Also, another issue that we must never forget is fair trial rights. The Constitution continues to make sure that or guarantees every accused person the right to a fair trial. Whether allegations arise concerning investigative misconduct, improper evidence gathering, or procedural irregularities, the court must carefully evaluate whether those issues affect the fairness of the proceedings. Public reaction. You guys, us guys, public opinion remains sharply divided. Many believe Gininda revived a stalled investigation. The accused should answer the allegations against them. The investigation brought renewed hope that the case would finally reach the trial. Many, yes, we may say many because there's a noise. However, there is also many people that are arguing that the investigation raises serious questions and serious doubts. Contradictions exposed during testimony have weakened confidence. Greater transparency is needed regarding investigative decision. A lot of questions are out here trying to say we are not staying silent. There's a lot of questions that are saying, we refuse to stay silent. The trial has also generated extensive discussion on social media, podcasts, and news platforms with the supporters of both the prosecution and the defense debating the strength of evidence. Now, one thing that I can tell you for free is that Brigadier Gininda's character and moral conduct when it comes to the Senzo case is very, very much questionable. And we cannot shy away from questioning all of that, including Judge Ratta sometimes, or most times. His behavior is also questioned, but our focus is still Gininda for now. Even Baloyi himself. So there's a lot of things that are very questionable that make one wonder, because Gininda sana, Gini. Now, the questions that I have for you is that, has Brigadier Bongani Gininda strengthened or weakened the state case? In my view, he has weakened the case because Sana, there's a lot of things that he has never disclosed when it comes to things that have happened. He said nothing. He kept mum. So those issues make us question a lot of things. Secondly, should investigative mistakes reduce confidence in the prosecution's evidence? Yes. Yes, it should. Why would they take a court that is taking, I mean, a case that is taking and go and represent it to court? You need solid, intensive cases in that court so that you make sure if you're saying this is beyond reasonable doubt guilty, it needs to be like that. You cannot take something that is going to waste state resources, state time, and so you need to make sure. Another issue for me that I want to ask you, can a court still convict if parts of an investigation are found to be flawed? No. Reasonable doubt belongs to the accused. The moment there is reasonable doubt, that doubt must go to the accused person, because why are they bringing cases that are flawed in court? Whose fault is that? Number 4, how important is corroborating evidence when witness testimony is disputed? It is very important. It is very important. You cannot convict people on something that is not make sure. You better make sure it is make sure. That is why also Aba Omotoso got away, because his state made a mess of the case. Those are the reasons. Has this trial changed your view of how major criminal investigations are conducted in South Africa? Yes, especially what I just mentioned, the Omotoso case is one of the biggest examples, guys, because the state lost that case because of how the state behaved when it comes to that case. So as of problems as are the ones that are creating these issues. So we need to make sure the state needs to make sure they get proper prosecutors. They thoroughly work. They make sure everything is above board. Do you understand? So what are your thoughts when it comes to that? Ne? Which aspect of Gininda's testimony do you believe will have the greatest impact on the final judgment? All of it, actually. All of it has a greater impact, a negative impact, in my view. Gininda's evidence is all over the show. Gininda's evidence is not something that one can rely on. Gininda's evidence, even the writing of the statement, are telling you that something is very off when it comes to this. Gininda's evidence of keeping the firearm, why would you keep the weapon in your house? Wherever he was keeping it, instead of it being in where it needs to be. Why was it in his yay? Yes, because of those things, we are questioning Gininda. Now, Brigadier Bongani Gininda's role has become one of the defining issues in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. His investigation forms a significant part of the prosecution's case, while the defense has sought to challenge its reliability through extensive cross-examination. Ultimately, it will be for the court to evaluate the credibility of the investigation alongside all the evidence before determining whether the prosecution has proved its case beyond a reasonable doubt. So that is why we need to make sure Gininda does not get away with this. This needs to go into history books of teaching police officers not to take shortcuts, okay? What are your thoughts when it comes to this? Please do not forget to like, to share, to comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. I'll see you on our next video. Bye-bye.